How's it going, guys, and welcome back to my Minecraft world. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I know I am, because I am super excited to show off my brand new redstone house. This is going to be a cliffside concept house, which looks absolutely gorgeous, especially on this terrain. And it has a pool built on top of it. It has a garage, and the house itself is actually built down inside of the cliff with a huge glass wall as a centerpiece of the design. It's really amazing, and I really am excited to show you all of the features in this house. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take 1 second to crush that like button, and also leave a comment down below. Tell me what was your favorite part of the house when you eventually see it, as well as tell me what other types of houses you want to see in the future. But either way, let's go ahead and check this out. So here we are in our world, where we can take a closer look at the finer details of this house. One of the first things I do want to point out is where the house is located. As you guys can see, it is on a cliff. That much is obvious, but you can't actually see how far down this cliff actually goes. As you guys can see, it's a couple hundred blocks from the base where there's an ocean, and that is pretty scary, and I think this is the perfect place to build this lovely house. Now, the house itself was based off of a concept, and if I achieve that concept, please give this video a thumbs up. I will include a picture of the original concept on the screen right now, but either way, let's take a look at the top section of this house. Now, the idea behind this was to basically have the top side like flushed with the ground level itself. So as you guys can see, it's kind of like flushed over here, but we had to like build down the terrain in order for the garage area to fit, since it's lower in the actual structure itself. Now, we have a couple different things at the top of the house. The first and main thing we're going to take a look at is the pool area, which includes a bit of wood, and then it sort of goes into the lovely water. And the water is a couple blocks deep. As you guys can see, it includes lighting, which we could turn on by using this button. It activates those lights, and you really can't see the lights. We'll have to change it to nighttime in just a second, but let's continue down over here, where you can see the pool goes to the very edge where there's a bit of glass. So it's sort of like an infinite pool or infinity pool, and then the glass goes all the way down to the bottom of the structure, giving the interior just a magnificent view of the outside. We should have definitely added some islands over there to make it a bit more cool, but you guys get the idea. It's a really, really lovely view. As well as we have this decoration over here, which is sort of like just a stream of water. It was in the original concept design, so I wanted to include that, and I think it does add a bit of nice decorative feeling to the actual top of the house, and makes it less plain. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is actually change my time to night, so you guys can see what it looks like at night with the lights on. And that button actually turns on the lights for the entire house. It turns on the lights for a pool, for the stairwell over here, as well as for the bedroom and the interior of the building. And the reason why I did that is because I just wanted everything to be on one switch. It's not the only switch. There's a couple switches available around the house, but that's just something that I wanted to mention. Okay, so yeah, this is basically how it looks at night. With the shaders, you can't really see the lights that much, but I think it's just enough lighting to have like a nice midnight dip in the pool. Okay, so we're gonna switch it back to daytime here, and then go down our garage and our staircase to show off the different features. Now, the garage is supposed to obviously include a very smooth like drop down to the garage space, but since it's Minecraft and we only have blocks, we tried to make it as smooth as we could. And this is supposed to be where the car will be located, and we also have like a window over here, which is like a additional feature to see outside and also to see in. So yeah, that's basically the side where you would take your car into. Now here's our staircase, and our staircase includes some really awesome decorations, and the decorations was actually done by a fan of mine, and his name is the Redstone Creator, and I will link his like Twitter down below and his stuff down below. But he really did a lot of really epic decorations on this map, and ironically I did all of the redstone, even though he's called the Redstone Creator. But we also have some lighting over here, which, like I mentioned, is from the pool. This is actually separate lighting from the pool. It just looks like the same because it's built into the same wall. But yeah, that's some of the lighting and the staircase, which looks awesome. And the staircase goes all the way down to a doorway, which is right next to our garage, and then another one leading into the house itself. And also it goes to a balcony at the front, and this balcony like overlooks the ocean as well as the environment. And we also have like another redstone creation here, which basically is a door that you would close behind you. I'm not sure why that's over there. I think the other guy added that in, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And we could go ahead and open that back up by hitting that button. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of the house, and I'm gonna have to change my shaders because, as you guys know, I use a different type of shaders for the interior. That way it isn't so dark. Now, once I change my shaders and I walk in here, you guys can see that the house itself looks pretty cool. Honestly, I thought it looked kind of plain in the beginning, but we tried our best to add in a lot of different features since there's so many huge like empty walls and the house itself is so large. But straight away it just walks into like this part of the house, like a living space. We have a kitchen over here as well as a table, a few like decorations like a computer desk and stuff like that. But yeah, this is what the interior of the house looks like. I hope you guys enjoy the way it looks. And yeah, our kitchen does include a redstone creation, which is going to be an item sorter. You would put your items at the top, and it would basically store all of your items. And to get those items, you would access this chest. So as you guys can see, we have loads and loads of apples inside the chest itself. And it would also, this creation will also indicate how full the system actually is. So right now, all of the lights are being lit, so that means the system is completely full. But when you start taking items off, you will see that one light will light up when one chest is full, two lights will light up when the second chest is full, and so on and so forth. Now over here we have another like cabinet and our counter, which basically allows us to access an ender chest. So I really love this particular design because it gives sort of a realistic functionality to the kitchen itself. And we also have places to cook. And yeah, that's basically our stove. Now we also have another feature here, which is going to be a hidden fireplace. You would just grab an item and drop it onto that block, and then it would pop out a fireplace really close to our wood. But don't worry, fire check is off, so it would not burn. And I think it's a nice little feature to sort of give some lighting into the house itself. Now, one thing I do want to show you guys that I should have shown you before I changed my shaders is the view from outside of this large window. And I do have to change my shaders because the shaders and the texture pack is specifically made for each other. That way I could have made the house closer or as close to the concept as I could. So what I'm going to do is change back to my shaders here. And then, as you guys can see, it is a completely clear, like, large sheet of glass that is part of our house. And when we walk up to it, we can see the outside. Obviously, it's kind of like, it has like glass texture on it. It's not completely perfect, but it will give you like a nice blurred view of the outside. And there's, like I said, there's not much down there, but the cliff on that side, you can see it from here, and then you can see the other side from here as well. So I really think that's a nice feature of the house, and definitely one of the best things about the particular design. Now, obviously up here, we do have a see-through floor or roof that is the base of our pool. So I think that is really awesome. We have the pool above us and this just huge bit of glass. And yeah, that's really cool. So now I'm going to switch back to my indoor shaders, is what I would call it, and we're going to take a look at the rest of the house. Now, leaving the kitchen and the living room, we're going to go up to the bathroom and the bedroom before we take a look at some of the other cooler redstone. Now, to the right on this balcony, we're going to have our bathroom, and inside of the actual bathroom, we have a shower, a working shower, as you guys can see. This one is made with redstone and command blocks, but you would just stand under here and get showered with the water. It's pretty awesome. And also we have like a small little sink as well as a door to close, that way no one comes in and sees you showering. And it is like stained glass, so you can't really see through it. It's just there for decoration. I think you could see through it. I guess you would just lock your house if you don't want people like watching your shower or something. So over here is our very small bedroom. It's pretty nice. It's located right under the wooden section of the upstairs area, or like the outside of the house. I'm not sure what you would call it. I can't really call it a roof because it's like built into the ground, but you guys understand what I'm saying. That's the wooden part. And inside of our room, we have this lovely computer, which looks into, or the backspace over here looks into a special decorative area in our house, which I'll show you guys in just a second. We have a couple of bookcases, a redstone creation over here, and then our small bedroom with 2 different beds and a waterfall over here. Also, we do have this button which is going to allow us to turn off the lights for the entire structure. Like I said, all of the lights is connected up together. So if you want to turn off the lights and go to sleep, you can do that by hitting this button. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So over here we have our redstone creation, which is basically going to be an advanced closet. It's a closet with an armor stand swapper that has 5 different outfits. And I'm going to show you guys the outfits right now. We have a chainmail Deadpool costume. Then we could go ahead and right click that to bring up our next costume, which is empty. I think someone must have stolen it, but let's hit that button again. And now we have the Star-Lord diamond armor suit. We can hit that button to bring up the Flash iron armor. And then finally, we're going to have the Iron Man golden armor, which I think looks the best and really complements the head a lot more with the texture pack. And like I was saying, this is a 5-way armor stand swapper. Actually, that's why I got a little bit confused there. So I didn't actually know there was 5 different armors that you could put into that. So that's definitely very versatile and a really cool creation to have as your closet. Now we're gonna walk down here and take a look at the other creations in the house, which is located more to the back. And to open up this area, we just hit that button. As you guys can see, it's a 1x2 door. It's a simple sand door, and we hit that button for it to go back up. And then we walk into the space, which I think looks really cool and is decorated quite nicely. Yet again, the decoration is done by the Redstone creator. And over here, we basically have a couple different ways we could go. The first way we're going to go is by opening up this hipster door, a 2x1 hipster door, which is going to lead into a survival room, sort of where we have all of our floral decorations. We're growing sugarcane in here as well as many different plants in order to sort of keep in our house just in case like something happens or if we need additional plants or something to survive in the future. We have mushrooms and different saplings and different sort of floral decorations and stuff to eat and whatnot. But yeah, I think that looks really awesome. And the decoration itself is pretty nice. And we also have doggies in here, which I almost forgot about. Hey, how are you doing, guys? Are you doing good? And we also have some trees. Now, as you guys can see, we do have our window up here, which is going to lead to our bedroom, and that's really where our view is coming from, as well as we do have a waterfall or our own source of water in the house. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you guys have noticed, is that this is actually built underneath the staircase, so it's not taking up any additional room in the house, which is why I really love this room itself, is because it's just a really great use of space is what I would say. And this button over here basically closes that door behind us if you wanted that to close. It's an option. Okay, so we're gonna come back over here and close the door and take a look at the rest of the area. This is going to include a hidden torch key entrance. We grab our redstone torch and place it over there. It's going to pop down and open up a 2x2 hipster door. We walk through and come to the, oh well, there was actually a button over here, but I guess the button's gone. But you would walk forward and you would enter this really nicely decorated area. And then like straight ahead, you guys would see that there's a locked door, and behind that locked door is some secrets, some of the most valuable things in this very expensive house. But one thing I do want to say is that the decoration is just so mesmerizing. I am just in love with these decorations. I think they're definitely really good. And I'm not just bragging, I'm not saying that. I didn't do the decorations of this particular side of the house, so I'm just giving credit where credit is due. This is really awesome. So before I do anything, I should go ahead and explain how an item frame combination lock works. Basically, we have one item frame which we're taking a signal from, and the signal has 8 different positions. And you can change that position by changing the orientation of the item on the inside. And this is position 1, this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And basically you have to enter all of the different item frames correctly in order to get the system to work. So that's 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. And I think that's over, I would say maybe 4,000 or 6,000. And that's a lot of different combinations that no one will ever be able to guess. And if it's not over 4,000, it's definitely over 1,000 or a few thousand. That I remember. So what we need to do is basically enter the right combination, and to do this we want to go ahead and place this one facing to the, I don't even remember. Okay, we place this one facing to the left, this one facing down, this one facing diagonally up to the right, and this one facing up, and that should give us the correct combination. When we hit this button, it's going to open up our security bars and then lead us into our room at the back. Now this room could be anything that you want, but I went ahead and made this a very simple vault. I know it's kind of disappointing, I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know what to add. We spent so much time building the house itself that this particular spot is sort of customizable to you. You can add a panic room back here, or just, you know, keep the vault. But inside the vault itself, we have some valuable blocks laying around and then a chest full of diamonds. But either way, we can leave this room and go back to that button and hit it again in order to close that doorway or the security bars. So yeah, if you're using or playing this map in adventure mode, you obviously won't be able to break any blocks, so this is definitely a secure system in that sense. Now, one really cool thing about the system is that if you enter the wrong combination, it will do something else. So let's go ahead and switch into our survival mode in order to show this off, and I'm going to come over here and set world spawn. That way, if I die, I will spawn right in this position. So what we're going to do now is just change up the configuration a bit, and then after we do that, we're going to hit the button, and when we hit this button, as you guys can see, it's going to close up the areas over here, and then it's going to shoot a bunch of arrows towards me, killing me. Now, one thing I do want to also point out is that, oh, I spawned at the top of the map. One thing I do want to point out is that you can't actually click the button a second time in order to turn it off. So we're going to come back over here, and we're going to go into creative mode. If we come over here and actually hit that button, as you guys can see, it does not turn the system off. We have a sequence built into it where if the wrong combination is added, it not only opens up the system, but it makes it impossible for this button to work anymore. So you're totally trapped in here unless you have a friend to save you and you also know the schematics of the house. So if you come over here, we actually have an admin control to this particular system. We need to grab ourselves a redstone torch and place it on this hidden block, which will then pop out and reset the entire system. So yeah, that's basically how that works. And if for you guys to appreciate this a bit more, I'm going to go into spectator mode and show you the redstone beneath the map, because it really is very complicated to get this to work. It took maybe about an hour or two just to set this up. So what I'm going to do is just replace those iron frames and place the arrows back in there, and then we can take a look at the bottom bit of redstone. Now going down here, we have the output for the button. It's one single output which is utilized in several different ways, which makes this a really awesome build. Okay, so over here we have the output for the right combination. When you enter the correct combination, it inverts this torch, or basically turns the torch back on, and then that signal goes to this torch, which inverts and then retracts this piston. Now the redstone repeaters on the right side is going to lead to our hidden arrow dispensers, and the redstone on the left side is going to lead down over here and wrap around to the input for our hipster security bars. So those of you that want to build houses like this, I'm trying to explain how it works, but that's a pretty cool circuit. And in order for our system to kind of like shut that button off, we also have like this redstone going down to this area, but it splits into two because we take a signal from this T flip-flop, and this signal goes down below the ground and then goes up over here to activate the doors that trap you in. So as you guys can see, the piston doors that trap you in is activated by the signal that also activates our hidden arrow dispensers, and then it also activates a third system which goes all the way back over here and pushes this block forward, essentially disabling the button. So yeah, it does a lot of things just all packed into one, and it just works so well. As well as the redstone itself from the bottom also goes to the top, which activates the pistons up here and pushes it down to actually close you in. And then we also have that admin switch, excuse me, that sort of resets the entire thing manually. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and I really love the way that this particular system turned out. And we did spend a lot of time on the redstone over here, which is why the actual room back there really isn't the primary part of our features or design of this part of the house. Now to close this area back up, we just place down another redstone torch here, and as you guys can see, the wall just goes back up. And one thing I didn't mention is that we also have another button over here which controls the lighting for the entire house, and that's going to turn off the lights over here, and it's also going to turn off the lights on the inside. And I want to show you guys where all the lights is located. So we have the ones in this location. We also have the lights on the right and left hand side of the top of our roof or underneath our pool. We have the lighting out here, and we also have lighting inside of the pool. So the lighting down there is actually different from the lighting in the pool. We have lighting on this side, and then we have, of course, lighting in the bedroom, which is just one light. So yeah, that's basically all the redstone. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much going to wrap up this redstone house showcase. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to take 1 second to crush that like button. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of the house, as well as don't forget to take a look at some other cool builds. I did the Volcano redstone house last. Definitely check that out. That was also a really awesome build with some really cool redstone. Or you could take a look at the entire redstone houses playlist or redstone maps. Either way, do subscribe to see more redstone houses on this channel and other Minecraft videos. But this was Twiistz, and I'll see you guys next time.